Hi friends, this is my recap of part 1 of the Friday afternoon session of the Jehovah's Witness 2020 Always Rejoice Convention, which is online this year due to the pandemic. I spent more than 2 decades going to these annual conventions in person, and I'll tell you right now, I really enjoy not attending these. If you have seen my other 2 videos that I've done of the Friday morning session, basically what I did was I removed all of the fluff and just left, in my opinion, the underlying message. And it's pretty amazing what you see when you take out all of the topics that are meant to distract. Anyway, if you understand what I'm saying, please leave me a comment. I'm not going to do much dialogue in this session because it pretty much speaks for itself. So the session opens with, of course, a very heartwarming video with beautiful music of brothers and sisters all over the world traveling to the meetings, knocking on doors, going out in service, and transporting and manning their carts. It has beautiful music that, of course, builds to a crescendo to enlighten one's emotions. It shows pictures from what I could tell the U.S., Africa, Asia, and India, and all over the world. The video shows smiling faces of what looks like very dedicated brothers and sisters witnessing in the coffee shop, on the construction site, in the park, amongst friends. I never personally found the witnessing work to be joyous. How about you? So once the video and the beautiful music gets the viewers' emotions heightened, it quickly switches to Bible times of less fortunate individuals. Of course, as is Watchtower's custom, Jonah being thrown into the sea, other people being persecuted, guards and spears and knives and all kinds of things that would terrorize an individual. After all the terror of persecution of these Bible times in this video, it switches again to a paradise. Beautiful birds, creatures of the sea, beautiful meadows and flowers. So what we've seen in these videos that I've done is that Watchtower's custom is to show the viewers an intro video that has 3 parts. The first part is to make them proud to be a Jehovah's Witness. The music brings them to a heightened emotional state. The second part instills the fear because that's the persecution aspect of the video. And the third part is the wonderful paradise, which is their hope. So let's tune in and take a look at the organization's advice for husbands, wives, and children to remain close to Jehovah.
The opening song for this session highlights the importance of including Jehovah in one's marriage.
Adam and Eve had a perfect marriage. Of course, with their disobedience, all of that changed. Instead of perfection, they were confronted with one another's imperfections. And in the instant that they separated themselves from Jehovah, they began to experience stress and anxiety that affected their relationship. It is a testimony to Jehovah's love and wisdom that despite imperfections and despite the stress and anxiety that have only intensified in these last days, the family can still be a source of joy. The Bible helps us husbands appreciate that our wives are a gift from Jehovah to a weaker vessel. And certainly we would never, on a pretext, pretend to honor her in public and then abuse her in some way in private. See, that would never work, would it? A loving doe, a graceful mountain goat, let her breasts satisfy you at all times. we must confine our romantic interests to our wife. That means avoiding overly close relationships with other women. And not just physical relationships, texting, video conferencing, telephone calls, all constitute a relationship. Rejecting sexual fantasies involving others. Fantasizing is little more than rehearsing. So we reject such fantasies.
Do these guys really have to get so upfront and personal with adult husbands and wives? I see that nothing has changed in the 30 years since I escaped this organization.
Our wives are not perfect.
Christian wives, are you happy? What can you do as a wife to add joy to your marriage? So Eve was going to be a helper as a complement of Adam. When you go to pick out an outfit with accessories, you pick those with colors that blend well together. Or when you're making a meal, you know there are certain foods that go well with other foods or complement other foods. Like a Korean sister making kimchi probably will make rice. Or pasta with cheese, bacon and eggs, bread and butter. So your husband has made a decision. You're going to support that decision. You're going to try to make it work. You don't want to be foolish by speaking negatively, talking about your husband's deficiencies or failures. Nor would you want to undermine his own confidence by nagging or arguing with him. You don't complain, and you're happy. Sometimes you feel obliged to speak your mind. If you say it in kindness, your husband will love you all the more. See, above all, a capable wife who fears Jehovah is highly valued and is to be praised. So you, dear wives who fear Jehovah, you worship him with awe and respect. And that's so important because that helps you to easily be in subjection to your husband because you know that this pleases your heavenly Father.
We're very happy to have hundreds of thousands of children associated with our congregations worldwide. They are a gift to you from Jehovah. How can you find joy in your children despite living in a stressful world? Carefully direct your children in a way that, so to speak, you hit the target so your children can have a happy, fulfilling life of serving Jehovah God. I have found that children are a bit like some flowers. Just as these little plants turn toward the sun to receive light and warmth, children look to their parents for love and for reassurance that they are welcome members of the family. Do not expect them to be adults. When disciplining your children, always show love and discernment.
Well, I remember what the organization used to say about disciplining children when I was a witness, and it was a lot different than this. Do you remember the poor children who were carried out the back of the Kingdom Hall when they wouldn't sit still through the drone of the elders talking about fear and terror and persecution and Armageddon and death? I remember these children screaming all the way down the aisle as their parents brought them either into the bathroom or out the back door, and I heard the beatings that they would get. Since Jehovah's Witnesses do not believe in children's programs, they required the children to sit for 2 hours with their family and listen to these men speak. It was difficult for me, and I was an adult. I remember as a child how difficult it was. I was born into this organization, so I did it as a child, and it wasn't fun at all. I dreaded it, and it was 3 times a week that we went to the Kingdom Hall. But seriously, the organization isn't interested in children at all, or they would not have this 2-witness rule when it comes to child abuse. But we're not going to get into that. But I do know that they're baptizing them younger and younger. When I was a Jehovah's Witness, if you were a teenager, it was time to get baptized. But from what I understand, they're baptizing 8-year-olds right now. But then that adds to their numbers, doesn't it?
So the greatest joy that a parent can have is to see their children turn out to be righteous and wise servants of Jehovah God. These suggestions are going to help you to aim your children to an everlasting future of serving Jehovah God.
This symposium has helped us to appreciate even more Jehovah's love for families. And it's their heartfelt desire that you have a close, personal, loving relationship with your Heavenly Father, Jehovah. So what is Jehovah asking of your parents? To train you in such a way that you will always serve Jehovah. You will get reminders, correction, and discipline. Why? Because they love you, and because they're doing their best to listen and obey Jehovah, and His instructions are to train you, discipline you, so you can serve Jehovah forever. They're imperfect, but they love you, and they're doing the best they can to give you the best training possible so you can love Jehovah and serve Him forever. They want to make sure that you will avoid being drawn into the dangerous currents in this wicked world, dangers that you may not be aware of. What is Jehovah asking of you? As your parents are training you, please listen to them by listening and obeying their instructions. And most of all, we can make Jehovah happy.
So the program abruptly ends with a song about faithful children living for Jehovah.
We now invite you to stand and sing song number 135, entitled Jehovah's Warm Appeal, Be Wise, My Son.
So that's all I have for you today, friends. Thank you so very much for liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos. Please check out my Facebook page because I share a lot more on that. And if you like what I do and would like to support me, please check the link in the description to this video. Jesus is the only way, friends. Jehovah, the God of Watchtower, does not offer salvation. If you have not watched my other videos, please do check them out for more information. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.